If you are hearing this right now, it is not an accident. It is not coincidence. It is not luck. It is a divine appointment. Because when God is about to shift the seasons of your life, He always sends a message before He sends the miracle. And this message is reaching you at this exact moment because God has decided that your chapter of hardship has reached its limit. Your season of struggle has carried you far enough. Your pain has shaped you deeply enough. Your tears have watered the ground long enough. And God is declaring that a new chapter is about to begin. A chapter that hardship cannot enter. A chapter that sorrow cannot claim. A chapter that darkness cannot interrupt. God is preparing to close the door that has been heavy on your heart for far too long. The door that has kept you awake at night. The door that has made you question your worth, your purpose, your strength, and sometimes your hope. There comes a moment in every believer's journey when human strength is no longer enough. A moment when your own effort cannot carry you. When your planning cannot predict your future. When your own wisdom proves too small for the weight of your destiny. And when you arrive at that moment, you must understand something profound. You are not being abandoned, you are being positioned. God allows you to walk through seasons where everything feels overwhelming, not to break you, but to build you. Because the person you will become in the next chapter cannot be created in comfort. You become who you are destined to be in the crucible of hardship. You are shaped in the fire, strengthened in the storm, purified in the pressure. And when God sees that the storm has accomplished its purpose, He speaks one word, and the entire atmosphere of your life changes. God says, enough. And when God says enough, no force in existence can continue the hardship that has tormented you. You may feel like your strength is almost gone. You may feel like you have been fighting battles that you never asked for. You may feel like the weight of problems has piled up so high that your spirit can barely breathe. But hear me clearly, God has not forgotten you. God has not overlooked your tears. God has not ignored your struggles. God has not dismissed your prayers. You may think you have been waiting too long, but God is never late, and when God moves, He moves suddenly. When God decides your hardship has reached its expiration date, He does not slowly peel the struggle away. He shuts the entire chapter. Some of the hardship you are facing right now has nothing to do with punishment. It has everything to do with preparation. God is building a resilience in you that ordinary people do not possess. God is building a strength in you that fragile hearts cannot carry. God is constructing a foundation inside you that can handle the blessings He is about to release. Because when blessings come, they bring responsibility. When elevation comes, it brings pressure. When doors open, they bring challenges. And God will never place a new blessing on an unstable foundation. That is why some of the battles in your life have lasted longer than you expected. You wanted relief, but God wanted transformation. You wanted comfort, but God wanted growth. You wanted an immediate escape, but God wanted your spirit to stand strong even when the world felt heavy. Every hardship you have endured is proof of your assignment. God does not allow deep pain for shallow purposes. When God allows a storm to touch your life, He's preparing something greater than you can imagine. The enemy does not attack the insignificant. Darkness does not fight what is weak. Hardship does not come without destiny attached. The reason you have battled so fiercely is because you carry something powerful inside you. And the harder the battle, the greater the breakthrough that follows. God is not closing your chapter of hardship because He pities you. He is closing it because it has completed its mission. Your hardship has strengthened your faith. Your hardship has revealed your true resilience. Your hardship has separated you from people who are not meant to walk into your next season. Your hardship has exposed the intentions of those who pretended to support you. Your hardship has forced you to depend on God in ways you never did before. And when you begin to rely on God at a deeper level, everything in your life begins to shift. There are moments when God lets you run out of options so you can run back to Him. Moments when every door closes except the one He wants you to walk through. Moments when you feel stripped of everything until you realize God Himself is enough. And when He becomes your first source instead of your last resort, the chapter changes. God is about to bring you into a season where what once overwhelmed you will no longer have power over you. What once drained your energy will no longer disturb your spirit. What once broke you will now become your testimony. What once scared you will now strengthen you. Because a person who has gone through hardship and remained faithful becomes unstoppable. When God closes your chapter of hardship, He does not bring you out the same person. He brings you out wiser, stronger, more mature, more disciplined, more focused, and more spiritually anchored. Some of you listening right now have been asking questions in the silence of your soul. You've been asking, God, when will this end? God, why is this happening? God, why am I still here? And God has heard every whisper of your heart. You think God has been quiet, but He has been working. You think God has been distant, but He has been directing every detail. You think nothing is changing, but transformation has been happening beneath the surface. Seeds grow underground before they ever break through the soil. And God has been nurturing something inside you that will soon become visible. Your hardship has not been wasted. Every tear has watered your future. Every struggle has pushed you toward destiny. Every disappointment has redirected you to the right path. God has allowed nothing useless in your story. Many people look at hardship as a sign of weakness, but hardship is often the sign of divine selection. When God chooses someone for a significant purpose, He does not protect them from hardship. He uses hardship to elevate them. God uses adversity to refine, to strengthen, and to distinguish His chosen ones. Some of the pressure you have faced was not meant to destroy you, it was meant to separate you. Separate you from distractions, from negative influences, from shallow relationships, from environments that could not carry your future. God had to pull you away from some people because they would have sabotaged your blessing. God had to let certain things fall apart because they were never built on His foundation. God had to let the storm rise so that the truth could be revealed. Hardship does not only show you who you are, it shows you who is truly for you. You may have been overlooked by people, but God has never overlooked you. You may have been rejected by people, but God has never rejected you. You may have been betrayed, abandoned, judged, criticized, and misunderstood, but God has remained faithful. And sometimes God allows people to leave your life because their season in your story has ended. You fight to keep them, but God removes them for your protection. You cry over the absence, but God sees the danger you could not see. You grieve over what you lost, but God prepares something far better. Your hardship has taught you the difference between attachment and destiny. You have learned that not everything you lose is a loss. Some losses are hidden victories. Some endings are hidden beginnings. Some heartbreaks are hidden redirections from God. In the moments when hardship becomes unbearable, your spirit is stretched. And when your spirit is stretched, your capacity increases. God is preparing you to handle what you prayed for. You asked for a new life, but did you know it required a stronger version of you? You asked for bigger blessings, but did you know they demanded deeper character? You asked for elevation, but did you know it required greater discipline? You asked for clarity, but did you know it required letting go of familiar comfort? God answers your prayers not by changing your circumstances first, but by changing you. And once you are transformed, the circumstances must bow. You are standing at the edge of a divine shift. The atmosphere around your life is changing. The cycle of hardship is coming to a close. The weight that has been on your shoulders is being lifted. God is about to release a peace that will silence the storms that have tormented your mind. God is about to open doors that no human could force open. God is about to bring opportunities that you are not qualified for in the natural realm, but spiritually they belong to you. God is about to bring restoration in areas where you experienced your greatest losses. God is about to surprise you in ways that will leave you speechless. Because when God decides a chapter must close, the transition comes with divine force. Many of you have been fighting battles in silence. You've been carrying pain privately while smiling publicly. You've been trying to stay strong for others while feeling weak inside. You've been encouraging people while no one noticed your own struggle. But hear this, God has seen every quiet moment. God has witnessed every night you cried alone. God has counted every tear you tried to hide. And God is going to reward you openly for the suffering you endured privately. What was done in darkness will be healed in light. What was lost in confusion will be restored with clarity. What was broken in pressure will be rebuilt with purpose. Your hardship has prepared you for a future that is bigger than your imagination. The level of pressure you have experienced is a clue to the level of greatness ahead. If the battle has been intense, the blessing will be immense. You are not coming out empty-handed. You are coming out with strength, with wisdom, with spiritual depth, with clarity, with resilience, with vision, and with a renewed sense of purpose. The chapter of hardship is not ending because life is becoming easier. It is ending because you are becoming stronger. God is not removing the challenge because you cannot handle it. He is removing it because you have overcome. God is about to rewrite your story. What once felt like a curse will become part of your blessing. What once felt like punishment will become part of your preparation. What once felt like abandonment will reveal itself as divine protection. Every hardship is about to make sense. Every delay is about to reveal its purpose. Every setback is about to show its hidden blessing. And when the chapter closes, you will not even recognize the person you have become. You will look back at the hardships that once terrified you and realize they were the stepping stones God used to elevate you. You must understand that the closing of a chapter is not always peaceful. Sometimes God closes a chapter abruptly. Sometimes He shakes your life so forcefully that you have no choice but to let go. Sometimes He allows things to fall apart so the wrong foundations can crumble. And though the process feels painful, the purpose is divine. God removes what is built on weakness so He can replace it with strength. God tears down what is fragile so He can rebuild what will last. God closes what is toxic so He can open what is blessed. The chapter of hardship has taught you how to survive, but the next chapter will teach you how to thrive. Hardship taught you how to hold on, but the next season will teach you how to rise. Hardship taught you endurance, but the next season will teach you abundance. Hardship taught you patience, but the next season will teach you fulfillment. You are not stepping into an ordinary season. You are stepping into a God-ordained transformation. And now, you stand at the doorway of change. The ground beneath your feet is shifting. The spiritual climate around your life is becoming lighter. The resistance that once held you back is losing its power. The burdens that once crushed you are breaking apart. God is closing your hardship chapter, not with a whisper, but with a declaration. A declaration that your story is not defined by suffering. A declaration that your identity is not shaped by pain. A declaration that your destiny is stronger than your past. A declaration that your future is blessed beyond measure. You have outgrown the season you were struggling in. Your spirit has expanded. Your faith has matured. Your resilience has deepened. And God is not going to let you remain in a chapter that no longer aligns with who you have become. Hardship was a season, not your identity. Struggle was a chapter, not your future. Pain was a teacher, not your destiny. God is closing that chapter, sealing it, completing it, and moving you into something greater. And as you step forward, remember this: God does not close a chapter without preparing the next one in advance. Your next chapter is already written. Your next blessing is already formed. Your next breakthrough is already scheduled. Your next opportunity is already aligned. Your next level is already unlocked. There comes a moment in every believer's journey when the soul becomes aware that something invisible is shifting. You may not see the change yet, but you can feel it deep in your spirit. It feels like a quiet stirring, a subtle alignment, a whisper in the unseen realm. It feels like God is rearranging the pieces of your life without announcing it. And this inner stirring is the evidence that the chapter you have been walking through has served its full purpose. The hardship that once consumed your days and nights no longer fits the person you are becoming. You cannot remain where you have been because your spirit has surpassed the level of your suffering. Your faith has outgrown your fear. Your strength has exceeded the weight of your trials. And now God is preparing to transition you into a reality that matches the growth He placed within you. Sometimes God allows you to reach the place where nothing around you matches the transformation inside you. You begin to feel uncomfortable in situations you once tolerated. You begin to lose interest in conversations that once entertained you. You begin to detach from environments that once felt familiar. This discomfort is not confusion, it is God repositioning you. God removes your peace from seasons that are ending so you do not cling to what He is trying to release you from. When God withdraws your comfort, it is because He is pushing you towards something greater. And the moment you begin to sense that disconnect, pay attention. God is telling you that the old chapter cannot hold the new version of you. There are battles in life that you are not meant to fight forever. There are burdens you are not meant to carry indefinitely. There are mountains you are not meant to climb endlessly. God uses hardship to shape you, but He never intended hardship to define you. You were not created to live in constant struggle. You were not designed to dwell in perpetual pain. God has ordained cycles for your life. Cycles of testing, cycles of growth, cycles of elevation, and cycles of reward. And when one cycle comes to an end, nothing can prolong it. Hardship cannot argue with God. Fear cannot resist Him. Darkness cannot delay Him. When God decides the cycle is complete, every force that opposed you retreats. Your storm knows when its assignment is finished. Your burden knows when it must loosen its grip. Your struggle knows when it must bow to the timing of God. You may have walked through seasons where you felt invisible to others, but you were never invisible to God. You may have cried where no one could see you, but God counted every tear. You may have felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood, but God was watching, listening, and strengthening you in silence. The moments where you thought nothing had meaning were the moments God was performing His greatest work. The deep breaking you experienced was not the end. It was the construction of your new beginning. The loneliness you endured was not abandonment. It was God pulling you away from everything that diluted your destiny. The delays that frustrated you were not denial. They were God's protection from acquiring blessings prematurely. There is a spiritual principle that many overlook. Before God elevates you publicly, He strengthens you privately. Before God opens doors in the physical, He fortifies your faith in the unseen. Before God grants you influence, He builds your character. Before God releases blessings, He enlarges your capacity. Hardship is the training ground of destiny. The pain you felt was not wasted. It was the sharpening of your spiritual senses. God was preparing you to recognize opportunities that others overlook. God was teaching you to discern truth in a world full of deception. God was shaping your ability to stand firm. Even when everything around you collapses, you did not go through hardship to remain the same. You went through hardship so that nothing in this world could easily break you again. You went through hardship so that temporary setbacks would no longer intimidate you. You went through hardship so that when God blesses you, You can sustain what He gives you. You went through hardship so that your faith would be anchored not in outcomes, but in God Himself. And because your foundation has shifted from self-reliance to God-reliance, your entire life is about to take a new shape. There is a divine compensation coming for everything you endured. God is a God of perfect balance. He never subtracts without adding something greater. He never allows loss without preparing restoration. He never permits pain without planting purpose within it. The same God who allowed the storm is the God who will bring the sunshine. The same God who allowed the struggle is the God who will deliver the solution. The same God who permitted the fire is the God who will refine you through it. God does not let hardship end without attaching a reward to the endurance you showed. You are stepping into a season where the scales of your life will begin to shift. What was heavy will become light. What was painful will become meaningful. What was confusing will become clear. What was unfair will become fuel for your elevation. Some of the doors that closed in your life were not because you lacked potential, but because God saw what you could not see. He saw the conversations behind your back. He saw the intentions of hearts that smiled in your face but whispered against you. He saw traps disguised as opportunities. He saw people who wanted access to your blessings without sharing your values. So God closed the doors you prayed to enter because He knew they were doors that would break you later. You cried over the closure, but God celebrated your escape. You felt rejected, but God was protecting you. You thought you lost a chance, but God saved your destiny. The chapter of hardship is closing, but it is not closing quietly. It is closing with the authority of God. You will begin to notice that things that used to trouble you no longer trigger you. Gates that once blocked you will open naturally. People who once discouraged you will lose influence over your emotions. Thoughts that once tormented you will lose their power. This is what happens when God shifts the spiritual atmosphere around your life. The old pressure stops fitting. The old fears stop speaking. The old wounds stop bleeding. The old battles stop fighting. It is not because the world changed. It is because God changed you. A transformation is taking place inside you that even you may not fully understand yet. You may feel quieter than before, but it is because your spirit is becoming more focused. You may feel distant from certain people, but it is because your values have evolved. You may feel uninterested in old habits, but it is because your soul has matured. The more God prepares you for greatness, the less noise you tolerate. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the more you detach from what drains your energy. This is the pruning before the flourishing. This is the refining before the rising. This is the alignment before the assignment. God is about to bring you into relationships that reflect your growth. People who speak life instead of discouragement. People who honor your spirit instead of exploiting your kindness. People who value your presence instead of taking advantage of your loyalty. The people who walked away were necessary for this transition. They were part of the chapter God is closing, and God will never attach your destiny to those who cannot carry the weight of your purpose. Every hardship you endured has granted you spiritual authority that you do not even realize you carry. Authority to stand when others collapse. Authority to discern truth when others are deceived. Authority to remain calm in storms that panic the masses. Authority to trust God even when the path is unclear. This spiritual authority is not learned in peaceful seasons. It is earned in painful ones. And now that God has built that strength within you, He is ready to lead you into a chapter where your authority becomes your foundation, not your burden. A divine acceleration is coming. What once took years will take months. What once took months will take days. Doors that were locked for years will suddenly open without effort. Connections that seemed impossible will appear naturally. Opportunities you never imagined will begin to find you. When God closes a chapter, He does not delay the next one. You will move faster, rise higher, and understand deeper, because your heart is aligned, your mind is renewed, and your spirit is anchored in the presence of God. Your story is about to become a testimony that will inspire others. People who watched you struggle will not be able to comprehend how quickly God elevates you. People who doubted you will witness your transformation with astonishment. People who spoke against you will watch your life rise in ways that silence every criticism. This is the brilliance of God. He redeems your story in front of those who assumed hardship would destroy you. You are stepping into a chapter where you will no longer chase things. Blessings will begin to chase you. You will no longer beg for opportunities. Opportunities will recognize you. You will no longer wait for validation. Your spirit will stand firm in the identity God gave you. You will no longer apologize for your calling. You will walk boldly in it. God is positioning you for a level of peace you have never known, a depth of clarity you have never experienced, and a realm of growth you never imagined possible. The hardship chapter is not just closing, it is collapsing under the weight of God's decree. Your past does not have the authority to follow you into your next season. What was heavy before will become light. What was confusing before will become simple. What was painful before will become purposeful. Life is shifting from survival to significance, from endurance to elevation, from hardship to divine fulfillment, because God has spoken a new chapter over your life. And now, as you stand at the edge of this new chapter, let your heart become fully awake to what God has been shaping within you. Do not walk into the next season with the mindset of the old one. Release the fear that held you back. Release the doubts that weakened your spirit. Release the memories that tried to convince you that you were not worthy of rising. You have carried enough. You have fought enough. You have endured enough. This is the moment to decide what kind of life you will step into. Will you continue to negotiate with your old limitations, or will you rise with the authority God placed within you? Will you keep bending under the weight of what hurt you, or will you stand tall because God has declared strength over you? Your next chapter requires courage. It requires clarity. It requires a heart fully surrendered to the will of God. Look at your life honestly and ask yourself, what am I holding on to that God has been trying to remove? What fears am I entertaining that God has already defeated? What opportunities have I overlooked because I doubted my worth? What prayers have I whispered while still walking around as if they were impossible? This is your moment to align your entire being with the greatness God has spoken over you. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into environments that cannot support your destiny. Stop allowing the opinions of others to mute the voice of God within you. Stop letting yesterday define what God is capable of doing today. Stand in the truth that you are not a mistake, not an accident, not forgotten. You are chosen by God, shaped by God, strengthened by God, and guided by God. And when God places His hand on your life, no force in existence can remove it. Open your heart and speak to God with honesty, with humility, with a longing for transformation. Tell God you are ready for the life He designed. Tell God you are willing to release everything that has kept you small. Tell God you want to walk in purpose, not fear, in clarity, not confusion, in strength, not hesitation. The power of God moves most deeply in the hearts that are sincere, the hearts that are determined, the hearts that refuse to stay stagnant. Make your spirit willing. Make your heart steady. Make your faith unshakable. The chapter of hardship is closing, but your response will determine the speed at which the next chapter unfolds. Walk toward God intentionally. Speak to God daily. Allow God to shape your decisions, your thoughts, your habits, your relationships, your dreams. When you align yourself with God, you begin to see possibilities where others see obstacles. You begin to sense opportunities where others sense threats. You begin to feel peace where others feel pressure. This is what happens when your life becomes rooted in the presence and guidance of God. Your entire world begins to operate on a different level, stronger, clearer, more purposeful, more resilient. So rise now with the strength God placed within you. Step forward with confidence. Step forward with faith. Step forward with conviction. You have survived what many could not. You have grown through what could have destroyed you. You have remained standing when everything around you tried to pull you down. That alone is proof that God's hand has never left you. Do not doubt it now. Do not question it now. Do not second guess the promise God has spoken over your journey. This is your moment to walk as the person God always knew you could become. This is your moment to let faith lead every step. This is your moment to embrace a future shaped not by fear, but by divine direction. Leave behind the chapter of hardship with your head lifted and your heart steady. Step into the new chapter with a spirit that is determined, awake, and aligned with God. And let your life become a testimony that when God decides to shift a story, no power in existence can hold it back.